911 Turbo is now available as a soft top. We pin our ears back and take it for a spin. And finally, we get strapped into the championship-winning Nissan Navara SP and get thrown around a bit. But first, the news. Just to recap, Fly It Off-Road, Spike takes a spin in the Nissan Navara SP.
I've always thought that out of all the racing drivers in the world, rally drivers have to be the most skillful, probably because they've got the most to lose. When circuit racers make a mistake, they've got runoff areas. Rally drivers have got trees and rocks and sheer cliff faces.
But rally drivers are still in cars, some of which are designed to go fast in the first place. There's another bunch of drivers who prefer to make life really difficult for themselves by going fast, off-road, in really large buckies. One such nutter is Hannes Grobler.
And here's the man himself, 1.7 meters tall, 96 kilograms, and able to drive that thing about as well as your mother-in-law is able to irritate you. That is to say, very well indeed. And behind every great rally driver is a man shouting instructions at him. That's co-driver Francois Jordan.
They drive the Navara SP for Nissan Motorsport in the ABSA Off-Road Championship. How's that for a cool job? Like a lot of employees, they share an office, and the job is a lot easier if they get on.
Guys, does it help to have a friendship off the track? Does it make you a stronger rally team?
Definitely, we do it professionally, but yeah, to do long distance running like this for 10 hours a day, to be friends, it helps.
I mean, how do you concentrate on what's going on? I mean, you've got things flying at you, you've got corners and straights and bumps, and how do you keep track of your notes and still bark instructions?
Well, that's part of the job. My job is not to keep the car on the road, but to make sure Hannes drives on the right road. So my job is just to concentrate very hard to make sure that we don't go wrong, to tell him about all the places that can be dangerous. And that's just part of it.
How long does it take you to develop that skill to listen to instructions and still keep the car in the right place and avoid obstacles on the road?
It's quite easy if you've got the experience, you know, and you can't beat experience, you know. You can tell the guys, or you can teach the guys basics on this type of sport, you know, but experience you can't beat.
With your guys' combined opinion, what's more difficult, off-road or rally cars?
Well, I can't say. I think it's more difficult, maybe the off-road series, because you can drive 12 10s with a rally car, and now you're going to service in basically 20 kilometers. With this thing, you have to keep the car on the road and get to the end.
What's it?
Rally is much more precise. Also from a co-driver's point of view, a meter or two wrong in an instruction can cause havoc. Where on the off-road, your biggest job is to find the road and to find the route and to find the obstacles together with the driver. It's two different worlds completely.
It's a world that I got a little taste of, and believe me, looks can be deceiving. It's a big truck, but it has acceleration and handling that would shame a few sports cars. But it does have its weak points.
It's got incredible acceleration, unbelievable braking. I don't know what they make the suspension out of because it seems indestructible. But what it doesn't have is run flat tyres, so our run is cut short a bit by a left front flat, which is a pity because I was having a blast.
While the crew worked on the wheel, we caught up with Nissan Motorsport's Glyn Hall.
Glyn, this is a racing car, obviously, but there are quite a few standard production components on this car. How much in common does it share with a production car?
Well, there's quite a few parts, especially in the engine. The engine is probably 80% of production parts, and the front and rear differentials, shall we say, they're predominantly production components in there, the gears and things of that sort, and the body is obviously, you know, clearly production-based. We have to make the car look exactly the same as the production unit. Yeah, we use a lot of stuff.
And a few fiberglass panels on the body as well.
Yeah, that's mainly for cost, and of course where we have the extra clearance for the wheels, and we have to do molding.
How much R&D goes into these cars?
Well, the R&D, of course, is the most critical part of the success of the off-road vehicles, as in any racing program. So, yeah, we do test the components to destruction, and then we come back a little bit. If a drive shaft has got a life, should we say, of 4,000 kilometers, we know that we've run it past 5,000 or even 6,000 1,000 without failure, and then we'll change them religiously. And in between there are certain other components which take enormous stress during the off-road conditions or racing conditions, and then we'll periodically inspect those at a predetermined period and service them, crack detect them, reassemble them and put them back on the car.
I've seen them on TV, I've seen them in the metal, and now I've had the chance to go for a spin in one, and I have new respect. I'm not really surprised that Nissan Motorsport have won every single full season of the ABSA Off-Road Championship that they've entered.
Mooi man.
The slightly tweaked 4-litre V6 production engine in the Navara SP puts out over 220 kilowatts and 475 newton meters. Probably the scariest thing about this Navara is the price. But yes, Nissan Motorsport has sold some to international clients.
Motorsport action this week